Well, good morning, everybody. Another great night. Slept like a log last night. It was awesome. And the moon last night was bright, like red, like an orange red moon. It was the coolest thing. I'd never seen it like that before. Anyways, today we've got a real nice, as you can see here, sunrise coming up, and dead calm here right now. So we're gonna wait and see how it feels in. But anyway, we're just gonna get rolling here. Probably about 8 o'clock this morning because we got a longer day again. Little boat's been doing great. I'm so impressed with this Potter. It's just been fantastic. And Andrew's got his Potter here as well. He's got a Potter 19, and this one, of course, is a 15, which is really a 14. And his boat's been performing really well also. Really quick boat. I was surprised at how quick it was. I'm going to be doing some reviews on some of the gear that I've picked up over the year. I got this new anchor and that I've mentioned, and it's been doing really well. It had a good test the first night and probably the third night, I think, as well. I'm trying to remember now. But anyway, working well. The anchor roller's working nicely also. But right now we're going to get the kettle working because it's coffee time. So, and then I think I'm going to have another stab at those pancakes as well. All right, still not quite like the box, but it's getting better, you know. Today I tried some Pam to stop it sticking. Look at that. And it seems to be working a little better. And I think I had it turned up too much too, so live and learn. Well, the wind's gone real light on us here, and that's what wind there is right on the nose. So it's back to the motor again. Almost lunchtime here. It's a nice day though. It's staying nice and kind of cool. I got a sweater on and a shirt underneath and everything. So yeah, it's not scorching hot, which is lovely. We're just making the miles here. We got to get down to Providence Bay. Looks like Marty is pulling out in Providence Bay. And what he's going to do is he's going to get a taxi all the way back to Little Current, get his car and his trailer, and bring it over. It's just he has to get back early, and this was planned. So, and he's going to pull the boat out there, which is kind of cool because we'll get to see how it works in as far as having a spot where if something happened, you had a breakdown or something like that, and you had to have an option to drop out. Hopefully this one works out well. Well, we just arrived in Providence Bay. Nice little spot here. Kind of protected. It's not perfect. Like if we get a big south wind, it's kind of open, but there's a sort of a pier here by the ramp that we could kind of tuck in behind if we have to. They're not calling for it, but famous last words. Have a little look around here. You can see lots of nice trees on the shore. And way off in the background, there's a nice beach. You can hear all the kids over there having fun. And yeah, it's nice and calming here. So we're gonna grab a bite to eat here. Looks like Marty's gonna stay and join us tomorrow as well and go over to South Bay Mouth, and then he'll leave the boat there, go back to Little Current, pick up the car and his trailer, and then zip back down because that's right where the ferry terminal is that he's got to catch the ferry. So that should work out pretty well. They got a ramp there, they got fuel, there's a little restaurant, everything. So maybe we'll treat ourselves tomorrow and have a little fish and chips or something. So anyway, I think tonight I'm kind of thinking that I need a little hit of that craft dinner again. So that might be on the menu. All right, so I changed my mind. It's gonna be rice and corn and chicken. Well, I gotta say, that was freaking delicious. I just mixed some flakes of chicken from the can in with some minute rice and a can of corn, and then I just kind of mix it all up. And it's so tasty. And it's so simple to make as well. Even somebody like me, I didn't even stick it to the pan. So anyway, that was good. I think I might have a cup of tea now and just sit here and relax in the breeze, maybe read my book for a little while. All right, so I got the kettle boiled here. I got my tea on the go, and I'm going to start reading my book again. If you're ever looking for a really, really good sailing book, just a good book, it's A Voyage for Madmen. It's literally one of the top 3 books I've read, and I read it probably twice a year. It's an excellent book, and it goes through, it's the whole story of the first Golden Globe race, the first round of the world race. In 1968, 9 sailors set off on the most daring race ever held to single-handedly circumnavigate the globe non-stop. It was a feat that had never been accomplished, and one that would forever change the face of sailing. 10 months later, only one of the 9 men would cross the finish line and earn fame, glory, and wealth. For the others, the reward was madness, failure, and death. It is awesome. It tells the story of all the different sailors. There's a couple here. That's Robin Knox Johnston, Bernard Moitessier, Donald Crowhurst, Nigel Tetley. Who else was there? Jay Blythe, John Ridgway. Anyway, pick up a copy of this if you really want a good book. You can get it on Kindle, I think, as well. So, and it might even be available on Audible. So anyway, check it out if you're looking for a really good book. We're in kind of a funny little spot here, but it's nice. Just over, kind of off behind where Marty's boat is there. Looks like there's a town park over there, and it sounds like there's a live music thing going on, which is nice. And some folks just went by on paddle boards and kayaks and stuff, and they've got a trailer here just over the hill, and they said, oh, if the weather's real bad or anything, you guys need anything, we're the second driveway down, just come on down and we'll help you out with whatever you need. And very nice. If you guys are here tomorrow, if there's a big storm, don't worry, just come on over. Very nice. Well, good morning, everybody. It's day 7, hi Frank, here on the Manitoulin 250. So we're in Providence Bay, and we just checked the forecast. It looks like it's going to be about 20 knots from the south today, pretty much for all of Lake Huron. So we got to get the hell out of here. It looks like there's going to be thunderstorms, etc. Because where we are right now, there's not really good coverage from the south. If this rolls in, it's going to get pretty rock and roll. One of the things with this trip is the south side of the island. There's about 200 miles of Lake Huron to the south of us. So when it gets blowing, it has that much distance worth of fetch. So the waves get really big and it can get pretty nasty. So anyway, we're going to get moving right away here. We're going to have a quick breakfast and go. There's another bay a little bit further east of here that has better coverage from the south. And it's about 10 miles to that. And then South Bay Mouth is another 5 beyond that. So we may try for that one as well, because as I mentioned, Marty needs a place where he can pull his boat out. And that would be South Bay Mouth. So like I say, quick coffee, have a little bite to eat, and we're gonna get rolling. Alrighty, well, do a little sailing here now. It's actually not bad. It's just foggy as hell. You can't see anything, so really close, I think, to where we're gonna go. The sun's trying to break through there, but so far it's just mist. Look who I just ran into, almost. Brian, and I think I saw Dante out there too. There we go. So we're under a squall watch here. Wind's up to 33 knots. So we're gonna want to get in here and get anchored. So we're just heading into Michael's Bay here. Wind's picked up a bit in the last half an hour or so. Looks pretty good. We should be good. Decent coverage in here. And yeah, it looks, I don't know if you can see it behind me or not, but over on the shore there, it almost looks like there's a sand beach. Not that I think we'll be making any sand castles today or anything, but anyway, it looks like a nice spot. I'm gonna zip in and put out an anchor or two. Well, things have calmed down nicely in here. Still kind of misty, but good coverage in here. I don't know where the rest of the guys went, but I'm just going to swing over here, stay on this east end of this here. I got coverage from most directions, so if it swings around to the south, I'm still good. South is kind of off that way somewhere. Well, we're all tucked away in our little anchorage here, and just kind of waiting on this big storm to come rolling through. Supposed to be squalls and all kinds of goodness here, but I guess we'll see what happens. They're calling for, it's about 15 knots here right now, and they're calling for up to 35 now. So apparently they're getting hammered on the other side of the island with rain and heavy winds. So we're all buttoned down, so lunch is done. You can just go down below and read a book. Well, looks like the rain's finally here, and I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it is cracking right overhead. It is coming down large right now. So it's jostling around a little bit. Not too bad. Well, the storm rolled through. We got thunder and lightning and rain, and the wind really piped up. Had 2 anchors out and not much else to do, so I went down below and had a nap. I just slept. And the boat bobbed around a little bit. It wasn't too bad, it wasn't too rough, because where we are in this little harbor, but a little cove kind of a thing. It's nice and sunny again now. The wind, as you can see, the trees are behind me, and the wind's kind of coming from this direction, and it's sort of swinging around. You can see over here where it's open, and the waves are kind of making their way around a little bit, so you can feel a little bit of a cross swell. So anyway, we're going to see how it goes, but not much we can do about it. If the boat's rolling around, that's the way it is. Sometimes you get a swell from one direction and the wind from the other direction, so it's a little bit confusing. I'm going to put I pulled one of the anchors in, and I'm going to reset it to match up more with the swell, so the boat's not rolling quite as much tonight for sleeping. So hopefully we get that right. You never know, because then the middle of the night the wind shifts or something like that, but do what we can. It's getting on to dinner time here again, so I'm gonna have to see what I got in my big box of goodies down below and rustle something up here. Well, good morning, everybody. Day 8 here on the trip, I think. Day 7. I don't know. One of these days. I think it's Sunday. Yeah, so it was a decent night last night. We didn't get too much in the way of wind or whatever. I got the boat aligned more with the swell and everything, and that worked out pretty well. And I got the pancakes going here this morning. And the sky's looking a little bit dark still, but we'll see what happens. We're going to get going here in about an hour. And yeah, just enjoying my cup of coffee here. So hopefully we get some good wind today. So you kind of get a routine down every day. And every day what I do is I take a whole bunch of stuff from the cockpit and boop, it goes into the cabin. So the way I work it with this boat is I sort of have what I call one clear room, right? So I almost think about it like 3 rooms. So I've got one room on that side, one room on that side, and one room out here in the cockpit. And at any time, you have one room free. So what I do is, obviously at night, I clear off this side for sleeping. And so things that can stay out here, like my cooking kit, it's in a waterproof case, like a Pelican type of a case. It stays out here in the cockpit. my fuel cans stay out here, and I have 2 extra anchors. So I have 2 out today, the one that lives on the bow, and then I have a Bruce, and then I keep this one as well, which is a Danforth. I don't use the Danforth very often, to be honest with you. It doesn't hold as well, I find, but anyway, it's good to have a 3rd anchor. And so what I do here, this is just a little thing I came up with. Here's the anchor and the chain, obviously. I'll just get this out of the way. But then what I do is I have this toolbox, and that's where I store the all the line. And it works pretty well, actually. It's just have the chain on top, obviously. I cut a little slot out here for the chain to come through. And then I have another little slot on this side. And then I just tie the end of the anchor line there so I know where it is. But it's great because then I just close it up, and it stays in there nice and all closed up. It's not spilling all over the place all the time. You're picking up the chain and everything, kind of like I end up doing sometimes with the bucket. But anyway, the bucket works pretty well for the Bruce because it's big enough that I can just drop the Bruce anchor like right into the top of it. So it has its little advantage as well. But anyway, that's kind of how I do my storage and how I set up my anchor stuff. Yeah, one more little thing is that you'll see there's like a yellow and black bag there. That's a one of those waterproof bags. I just lay it out flat, almost like a little cloth, to keep things dry. So if there's dew or anything like that on the gear, it keeps my bed dry. These are just pieces of life jacket. They're the backs out of old life jackets that I had. And I just cut the sides off. And they work great. They're good for extra seat cushions when you need them. And the other thing I do is I actually hang one of them from the boom vang here. And I just cut a little hole in it and I hang it down. I'll show you later. And it just hangs across the top of the hatch here. And it, whenever the wind is blowing in, it just redirects the air right into the cabin. It makes it really nice and cool in there. So anyway, just little tricks. Those keep the bed dry for me. So all right, another little tip is what I do is I bring the large tanks here. These are 10 liters or 2.5 gallons. And so I brought 2 of those, and then I have the small one here, which is 5 liters, 1.25 gallons. And the big tanks are great for holding lots of fuel, but not so great when you have to fill up the tank leaning over the back of the boat, especially if there's any kind of wave action, because you got to use 2 hands basically to hold on to the tank with the weight of them. So what I do is I bring this full, obviously, but as this one starts to get down at anchor in the morning, what I do is I take one of the big tanks and I refill the small tank, and then that way I can handle the small tank with just one hand. It's a lot less weight, and especially, like I say, when you're leaning over the back of the boat. So, and that works really well for me. Alrighty, and we're off. We got the sails up, and just a nice light breeze here right now. Well, we'll sail along, and looks like Marty is heading out today, so he'll probably scoot ahead of the fleet over to South Bay mouth. It's about, I don't know, 10 miles or something over to there, and then he'll pull out there. We might stop there. Dante wants to top up with some fuel. Always good to have a little extra, and it's kind of a halfway point anyway, so it might not hurt. Yeah, and then we're going to continue on to Rattlesnake Point, which is just the other side of South Bay mouth. And at that point we start kind of heading around the eastern bottom end of Manitoulin. So all right, we're out on the big water now, and just a nice light breeze here. It's supposed to go up to about 10 knots, I think, possibly as much as 15 a little later on, but it feels only about 5 right now, which is just nice, just kind of bobbing along. Got some big swell here. It's kind of a little lumpy, but not too bad. I mean, the biggest swells I've hit so far probably been about 4 feet or so, something like that. And the sun is burning through the mist here. I thought we were going to have another fog incident, but doesn't look like it right now anyway. So we're just gonna relax and bob along here. Somebody's pool toy way out here in the middle of nowhere. Well, we got ourselves a little bit of a downhill sleigh ride here today. Wind is right on the stern. The waves are coming around. Initially, we had sort of cross waves to the wind. I think it was just leftovers from yesterday, and now it's starting to swing around more to the south. Kind of gray and gloomy. We can't see the shore again today, which is a little weird. It's like you're just sailing around here and there's nothing around at all. It's kind of cool. All right, just set the jib again here. Got my fancy little pole set up. It's kind of cool. I just hook it right into the combing here. Works pretty well. And we're just heading into the Owen Strait here, I think it's called. And then we're gonna head up to Rattlesnake Point. It's been lumpy like this all day long, but at least we don't have the wind on the nose. This has just turned into a gorgeous day. We've had this tailwind all day long. It's not quite as lumpy in here where we are in this strait. It's settled right down, smaller waves, which is kind of nice, and the boat's not bopping around as much. Still a good breeze too. Just beautiful. Sun's out. Oh, lovely. All right, we are almost at the anchorage. You can see little islands there around the center, and just in behind that is the harbor that we're shooting for. And we almost hate to go in. There's such good sailing here right now. Boat is just flying along. Well, this is the wind we've been waiting for all week, and I just got at the GPS here. I had it up to 6.7 miles per hour. That's, I don't know, about 6 knots, which is pretty freaking quick for about a 12-foot water line loaded for 2 weeks of cruising. And I think that's the fastest I've had this boat going. So anyway, lots of fun. Like I say, the waves are down, so it's just great. You see Andrew there. I think he's repositioning to get in behind the little islands here. A little better coverage with the way the wind's blowing. A couple of little islands along here. Rattlesnake Harbor is pretty poor. The wind is coming straight in. So not a lot of places high flight. Might just go down to James Bay. 10 miles downwind. Anyway, we're just kind of waiting on Brian. How's that for a bit of a splish splash show? Woo! Alright, so before going all the way down to James Bay, we're going to try this one out, just have a little look. This is called Tamarack Cove here, and just going to have to make sure there's enough depth for Dante. Anyway, I'm going to go in and have a look with the board, my center board down, and that'll be the depth sounder. Well, I went in for a look there, and I could have got in and probably stayed in there without too much trouble. Andrew probably could have as well with his lifting keel. Brian maybe, and Dante, it would have been a little bit questionable for him. The problem is that once you get in there, it gets kind of shallow, so we would have been sitting right out by the edge of it there. Anyway, we're gonna head down to James Bay, and hopefully we have better luck there. It's about another hour, I guess, from here, so gonna be some snacks and maybe a light dinner later on. Well, after 12 solid hours of sailing, we are finally in our anchorage. Had a quick bite to eat, and let me tell you what, I am going to bed. I am pooped. We're in a little spot called James Bay. And as you can see, it's just a nice sunset tonight. And we'll have a shorter day tomorrow. I think probably about 15 miles. Today was about 37. So, long day.